Hello, I'm Per. This is a video about Prince Eugen's Waldemarsudde, once the home of Prince Eugen Bernadotte and today one of Stockholm's finest museums. Prince Eugen Bernadotte was born at the Drottningholm Palace near Stockholm on August the 1st, 1865. He started painting in his youth and soon showed great talent. He studied art in Paris during the years 1887 to 1889. In his early years as an artist, he painted mostly landscapes and nature. You will see some of his works in this video. Prince Eugen also became a dedicated art collector, and over the years he assembled a huge collection of art. In December 1889 he became an honorary member of the Swedish Royal Academy of Science, and in 1906 a colonel in the Swedish Army. Prince Eugen never got married and never got children. Djurgården is a large area northeast of Stockholm and part of a national park north of the city. There is also an island called Djurgården, and this island is part of the larger area with the same name. The island Djurgården serves mostly as a recreational area for the people living in the city, and it is a very beautiful and very nice recreational area. Some of Stockholm's major tourist attractions, like Skansen and the Vasa Museum, are located on the island Djurgården. So is the beautiful little Rosendal Palace, built in the early 19th century, and the Rosendal Gardens near the palace. The Rosendal Palace was built for King Carl XIV Johan, born as Jean-Baptiste Bernadotte and the first king of the Bernadotte dynasty. Prince Eugen sometimes stayed at the Rosendal Palace in his youth, and this is how he discovered Waldemarsudde. Prince Eugen found the property in 1892 when he rented a house there for a few days. 7 years later, in 1899, he acquired the property. The only building there at that time was this little studio, which the prince used as his summer place for a few years. The famous architect Ferdinand Boberg created a home for Prince Eugen here, and it was built during the years 1903 to 1904. In 1913, a gallery, also created by Ferdinand Boberg, was added next to the prince's home. The gallery made it possible for Prince Eugen to grow his art collection. So Prince Eugen's Waldemarsudde consists of two adjacent buildings, the prince's home and the gallery next to it. The best way to get to Waldemarsudde from central Stockholm is the streetcar, and that is also a very nice little sightseeing tour. The streetcar does not stop right outside Waldemarsudde. You will have to walk a few hundred meters around this bay, but just follow the signs and you'll get there. Now let's go inside the prince's home. This parlor is on the first floor. So is the dining hall. The library and the so-called flower room. Prince Eugen loved flowers. On the first floor, you can also see several fine works of art, like these paintings by Prince Eugen, and these portraits of old Swedish kings made by other artists. Now let's go upstairs. The second or middle floor was private space for bedrooms and other more private rooms. On the top floor he had his studio where he worked with painting. After Prince Eugen's death, in accordance with his will, the two upper floors became home to his large private collection of art. Here is a portrait of the prince by the famous Swedish artist Amundsson. Here is another famous painting by Amundsson, Summer. Here is a similar painting, A Young Girl by Hilding Lindqvist. Here you can also see paintings by Prince Eugen himself. For example, this one, The Blue Villa, and this one, Ragvaldsgatan. Prince Eugen's home and the gallery are surrounded by a big, beautiful garden with plenty of flowers. This garden also gave him new motives for his painting, like the sea approach to Stockholm. In 1901, Prince Eugen wrote in a letter to a friend, "Next to art, I think flowers are my greatest joy." You can see that in the park. He was very discriminating about what should be planted here and where. There are several sculptures by famous sculptors in this garden, all of them acquired by the prince and often to be put in a specific place. For example, this one, Heracles by Antoine Bourdelle. The Thinker by Auguste Rodin. This is Nike from Samothrake, a casting of an antique original in the Louvre in Paris. This is The Frog by Per Hasselberg. Look closely and you will see that there is a frog on the ground in front of the lady. This is The Archer by Carl Milles, one of the most famous Swedish sculptors in the 20th century. This is The Harvest by Ivar Jonsson. And this is a portrait of the painter Carl Nordström by the famous sculptor Carl Eld. Prince Eugen died on August the 17th in 1947 at the age of 82. He was the first member of the royal family in Sweden that was cremated, and his ash was buried on the estate, close to his home. This is his grave in the garden. In 1948, in accordance with his will, his home was opened to the public as a museum. Since 2017, Waldemarsudde is owned and managed by a foundation with support from the government of Sweden. The Waldemarsudde estate is big, and there is more to see here on the property. For example, the mill, the stable, the garage where the prince kept his cars, and an old boathouse. There is also a nice little restaurant inside the Waldemarsudde palace. The salmon I had for lunch was delicious. The gallery at Waldemarsudde runs temporary exhibitions of works by great artists. I have been there a few times in recent years and seen exhibitions of works by, for example, Ernst Josephson. For example, this one, the 14th of July. And Marie Krøyer from Denmark. For example, this self-portrait of the artist. Close to Waldemarsudde lies this nice little cafe where you can recharge in the afternoon. Their ice cream is quite expensive, but also very good, and I can strongly recommend this place for afternoon coffee. As if Waldemarsudde was not enough, Prince Eugen rented this house in Tyresö, southeast of Stockholm, and spent his summers here during the years 1894 to 1912, for 18 years in a row. He also gathered some of his artist friends here in the summers, a colony of artists. The prince made several beautiful landscape paintings in Tyresö. For example, this one, The Cloud. This one, Clearing Up. And A Summer Night in Tyresö. You can see more of those paintings in my video about Tyresö Slott, a magnificent palace built in the 17th century. Prince Eugen rented the house in Tyresö from the proprietors of this palace. I hope you like this video, and thanks for watching.